Okay, guys, now we will start with the lecture 5 of reproduction in human beings. In this lecture, we will study about fertilization. First of all, what is fertilization, दोस्तों? Fertilization का मतलब होता है process of fusion of sperm with ovum to form zygote. तो क्या होता है? So this is a sperm. The sperm will fuse with the ovum, and after fusion, they will form zygote. They will form zygote. So this is called as fertilization. बट दोस्तों, मैं आपको एक चीज बताने वाला हूं. जब हम कहते हैं प्रोसेस ऑफ फ्यूजन ऑफ स्पर्म एंड ओवम, तो स्पर्म कंप्लीटली ओवम के साथ फ्यूज नहीं होता. एक्चुअली इसका डिफिनेशन होना चाहिए फ्यूजन ऑफ न्यूक्लियस ऑफ ओवम एंड न्यूक्लियस ऑफ स्पर्म. यस, फ्यूजन ऑफ मेल प्रोन्यूक्लियस एंड फीमेल प्रोन्यूक्लियस इज कॉल्ड एज फ्यूजन और फर्टिलाइजेशन. एक्चुअली इसका डिफिनेशन ऐसा होना चाहिए. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं आगे जाके आपको समझाऊंगा. राइट. फर्टिलाइजेशन समझने से पहले बहुत सारी चीजें हमें समझना जरूरी है. हमें पहले स्पर्म का स्ट्रक्चर समझना जरूरी है, ओवम क्या है ये समझना जरूरी है, एंड देन फर्टिलाइजेशन कहां पर होता है, देन वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ फर्टिलाइजेशन विल हैपन. राइट. सो फर्टिलाइजेशन जाने से पहले कुछ बेसिक हम फिर से रिवाइज करेंगे. व्हाट इज दोस बेसिक्स? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, टेल मी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ स्पर्म. Okay, what is the structure of sperm? We all know sperm is nothing but a cell, right? Right, it is an haploid cell, that's all. It is an haploid cell. तो sperm भी एक cell ही है, and it is a male gamete. So because it is a cell, we all know एक cell के अंदर क्या क्या होता है. एक cell का प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन होता है, राइट. सेल का प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन होता है, सेल का जो है न्यूक्लियस होता है, देन सेल के अंदर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होता है, देन सेल के अंदर देयर आर ऑल अदर काइंड्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनेल्स प्रेजेंट इन द सेल. तो स्पर्म भी एक सेल है, बट इसका शेप थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. इसका शेप कैसा है? स्पर्म के अंदर एक हेड होता है, नेक होता है, बॉडी होती है, एंड देन देयर इज अ टेल लाइक दिस. अंडरस्टूड? देयर इज अ टेल. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, एक सेल के अंदर क्या होता है? प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. तो प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन क्या है? ये जो मैंने व्हाइट आउटलाइन ड्रॉ की है दोस्तों, दिस इज ओनली प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. दिस इज ओनली प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. तो ये सारा जितना भी मैंने व्हाइट आउटलाइन ड्रॉ किया, ये सारा क्या है? इट इज द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. देन अ सेल विल हैव अ न्यूक्लियस. तो स्पर्म में न्यूक्लियस कहां होता है? स्पर्म का जो हेड है दोस्तों, हेड है, इसके अंदर जो है न्यूक्लियस होता है. सो दिस इज द न्यूक्लियस प्रेजेंट इन द हेड ऑफ द स्पर्म, राइट. देन सेल के अंदर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होता है. Sperm is also a cell. So where is the mitochondria? So mitochondria are present in the body here like this, right? So the nucleus of the sperm, we all know it is haploid. It is haploid. It has 23 chromosomes, right? It has 23 chromosomes. So इतना अगर आपको पता है स्पर्म के बारे में, then you can understand fertilization very easily. अगर आपको स्पर्म के बारे में पता ही नहीं है, then you cannot understand fertilization. Understood? Okay. Now see here. अब हम समझेंगे ओवम क्या होता है. ओवम क्या होता है? ओवम इज नथिंग बट अ फीमेल गैमेट, राइट. इट इज नथिंग बट फीमेल गैमेट. दिस इज आल्सो एन हैप्लॉइड सेल. ये भी एक हैप्लॉइड सेल है, राइट. ये भी एक हैप्लॉइड सेल है. बिकॉज इट इज अ सेल, इट विल हैव प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन, इट विल हैव प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन, it will have nucleus, it will have mitochondria, it will have Golgi apparatus. सब इसके अंदर रहेंगे क्योंकि ये भी एक सेल है. So this is ovum. So this is the plasma membrane of the ovum. Plasma membrane के अंदर क्या होता है? There will be nucleus inside the ovum, right? Nucleus. This is the plasma membrane, right? Now around plasma membrane, ovum के plasma membrane के around, there is one more layer. दिस लेयर इज कॉल्ड एज जोना पेलुसिडा लेयर. ये जो मैं रेड कलर में ड्रॉ कर रहा हूं, इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? जोना पेलुसिडा लेयर. अंडरस्टूड? जोना पेलुसिडा लेयर. नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेल मी, हाउ डिड ओवम फॉर्म? ओवम कैसे बना? वी ऑल नो दैट oogonia cell will start meiosis. It will go in prophase 1 of meiosis 1. It will get arrested. That is called as primary oocyte, right? तो oogonia होता है. oogonia cell will start the meiosis 1. meiosis 1 के प्रोफेस 1 में जाकर क्या होता है, it will get arrested there, that is called as primary oocyte, right? This primary oocyte which completes, now this primary oocyte at the time of ovulation, मैंने आपको menstrual cycle में पढ़ाया है, at the time of ovulation this primary oocyte will complete its first meiosis, it will become secondary oocyte or ovum, right? We all know meiosis के अंदर दो steps होते हैं, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. अभी तक सिर्फ meiosis 1 हुआ है, meiosis 2 अभी तक नहीं हुआ है, right? So you should understand all these things. So now we will start with fertilization. Now how fertilization will happen and where fertilization will happen? First, at the time of intercourse, the male will release the semen inside the vagina of the female, right? So let me draw you a diagram. So this is your fallopian tube like this, right? So this is the uterus, this is the cervix, and this is the vagina. So this is the uterus, this is the fallopian tube, and this is the ovary, this is the infundibulum of the fallopian tube, right? So let me finish this diagram. So this is the vagina, right? Vagina. So at the time of sexual intercourse, the male will release the semen here in the vagina, here, that is called as insemination. So the sperms present in the semen, they will move from vagina, they will go to cervix, from cervix they will go to uterus, and from uterus they will go into fallopian tube, then they will come into the ampulla of fallopian tube. The sperms will come into ampulla of fallopian tube, right? The ovum is released by the ovary. Now this ovum is collected by the fimbriae of infundibulum. We all know infundibulum has finger-like projection called as fimbriae. This fimbriae will collect the ovum, right? And this ovum will go in the ampulla. So sperm will also come to ampulla, ovum will also come to ampulla. That is where वहां पर जाकर fertilization होता है. So point number 1, where fertilization will happen? It will happen in the ampulla of fallopian tube, right? So इतना basics अगर आपको पता है दोस्तों, then we can understand the whole concept of fertilization. So first क्या है, sperm क्या है? Sperm is a male gamete. It is nothing but a haploid cell. एक सेल के अंदर प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन होता है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होता है, न्यूक्लियस होता है, गोल्गी apparatus, एंडोप्लाज्म, बहुत सारी चीजें होती है, right? So sperm is also a cell, but इसका structure थोड़ा different है. इसका structure कैसे है? You can see it has a head, it has a neck, it has a body, and then it has a tail, right? तो इसका structure थोड़ा different है. Now where is the, so this is a cell, it has a plasma membrane, so this outline is the plasma membrane. It has a nucleus. Where is the head, nucleus present? It is present in the head of the sperm, right? Then where is the mitochondria present? Mitochondria is present in the body of the sperm, right? So now this head is also covered by a structure called as acrosome, right? It is covered by a cap called as acrosome. This acrosome has some enzymes. इसके अंदर थोड़े enzymes होते हैं which will help sperm to penetrate zona pellucida. Understood? So these are all the basic things you have to remember before we study fertilization. Ovum के बारे में हमने क्या basics पढ़ा? Ovum is nothing but a female gamete. It is also a haploid cell. That's all. So एक cell के अंदर क्या क्या होता है? Plasma membrane होता है, nucleus होता है, mitochondria होता है. Similarly, ovum is also a cell, right? So it also has a plasma membrane, it also has a nucleus. Now this plasma membrane is covered by a special layer called as zona pellucida layer, right? So this is the mitochondria inside the ovum. So this is the mitochondria. Understood? Okay. इसके बाद हमने क्या पढ़ा? हमने पढ़ा कि fertilization कहाँ पे होता है, right? So fertilization happens in the ampulla of fallopian tube. Now we will study fertilization, right? Now we will study fertilization. So this is the ovum. This is the ovum or secondary oocyte, right? So how secondary oocyte is formed? Primary oocyte will complete meiosis 1. So primary oocyte, I will write in small words here, primary oocyte will complete meiosis 1. meiosis 1 complete होने के बाद secondary oocyte या फिर ovum बनता है, right? So अभी भी meiosis 2 होना बाकी है. Now this ovum is surrounded by a layer that is called as zona pellucida layer, right? That is called as zona pellucida layer. Now what happens? Now the sperm will come. So this is the sperm, this is the sperm, the sperm will come. Now sperm, the head of the sperm has a cap-like structure called acrosomes. Acrosome. This acrosome has enzymes which will help the sperm to penetrate the zona pellucida. Now what will happen? So with the help of these enzymes present in the acrosome, so this is the acrosome. So acrosome has enzymes. ये enzymes की मदद से क्या करेगा? This sperm will penetrate to zona pellucida. It will penetrate through plasma membrane and then it will enter the cytoplasm. Then it will enter the cytoplasm. तो कैसे होगा? What will be the diagram? So this is the ovum, this is the ovum, this is the zona pellucida, this is the zona pellucida, and then this is the sperm. अब देख सकते हैं कि sperm घुस गया. So you can see the sperm has penetrated the zona pellucida, then it has penetrated the plasma membrane of ovum, and then it has entered into the cytoplasm of the ovum. Right? अब जब ये होगा, two things will happen. When the sperm is penetrating to the zona pellucida, and when it is penetrating the plasma membrane of the ovum, two things will happen. First thing, what will happen? There are some chemicals in the sperm. These chemicals will react with the zona pellucida layer. These chemicals will react with the zona pellucida layer, because of which the zona pellucida layer will become very hard. It will become very hard or very rigid. So zona pellucida will become very rigid, and this will prevent entry of other sperms. So this will not allow other sperms to penetrate. तो पहले चीज क्या होगा दोस्तों? So first thing, what will happen when the sperm is penetrating to zona pellucida and plasma membrane? The chemicals on the sperm will react with the zona pellucida layer, because of which the zona pellucida will become very hard, and this will not allow the other sperms to penetrate. दूसरा चीज क्या होगा? When the sperm penetrates into the ovum, right? अब जब sperm ovum के the head of the sperm has entered into the cytoplasm, right? You can see only the head of the sperm has entered into the cytoplasm. When the head of the sperm is entered into the cytoplasm of the ovum, what will happen? This will stimulate meiosis 2 of ovum, right? So this will activate meiosis 2 of ovum. अब क्या होगा? Because the head of the sperm has entered into the cytoplasm, so क्या होगा? Secondary meiosis 2, sorry, not secondary meiosis, it is meiosis 2. So meiosis 2 of ovum will happen. Meiosis 2 of ovum will happen, or ovum will undergo meiosis 2. Understood? So पहले हम फिर से पढ़ेंगे, हम लोग समझेंगे कि अब तक हमने क्या पढ़ा. So this is the ovum. Ovum has a layer called as zona pellucida layer, and this is the sperm, right? This is the sperm. What happens at the time of fertilization? The sperm, with the help of the enzymes in the acrosome, will penetrate zona pellucida, and then it will penetrate the plasma membrane of the ovum. So क्या होगा? With the help of the acrosomal enzymes, the sperm, right? The sperm will penetrate zona pellucida, then it will penetrate plasma membrane of ovum. So अब ये sperm आप देख सकते हैं zona pellucida को penetrate कर plasma membrane में penetrate कर head of the sperm जो है cytoplasm of the ovum में जा चुका है. So this is the head of sperm in cytoplasm of ovum, right? Ovum. So जब ये होगा, when this happens, two things will happen. First, एक चीज क्या होगा? The zona pellucida will react with the chemicals from the sperm. It will become very hard. This will not allow the other sperms to penetrate, right? Second thing क्या होगा? When the sperm enters into the ovum, this will activate meiosis 2. Now what will happen? Ovum will undergo meiosis 2. So ovum completes or undergoes meiosis 2. When this will happen, what will happen? जब ये होगा तो क्या होगा? meiosis 2 होने के बाद फिर दो सेल्स बनेंगे, राइट? तो बड़ा वाला जो सेल है ये बनेगा, इसको हम कहते हैं ooted. तो ये जो बड़ा वाला सेल है, this is called as ooted, and there will be a formation of small secondary polar body, right? So ovum completes meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 is also unequal division. क्यों इसको हम unequal division कहते हैं? क्योंकि ये division होने के बाद एक सेल बनेगा जो बड़ा है, एक सेल बनेगा जो छोटा है. unequal division. तो बड़ा सेल जो बनता है आप देख सकते हैं उसको हम कहते हैं ooted, और जो छोटा सेल बनता है उसको हम कहते हैं सेकेंडरी पोलर बॉडी, राइट राइट. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस, after this? So this is our ovum, right? So the sperm has entered into the ovum and the red color is the zona pellucida. Now what happens? Ovum will complete meiosis 2. Meiosis 2 is unequal division. जिसकी वजह से एक बड़ा सेल बनेगा जिसको हम ooted कहते हैं. So this is the big cell which has formed called as ooted, and there will be a formation of small cell called as secondary polar body. Now what happens? The head of the sperm will detach. So from the neck or the body of the sperm, the head of the sperm will detach. So अब क्या होगा दोस्तों? You can see. So let me put the zona pellucida layer so that people don't get confused. So this is the zona pellucida layer, right? Okay. Now what happens? The head of the sperm will detach. You can see, right? The head of the sperm will detach. It will go towards the nucleus of the ovum. तो क्या होगा? Head of the sperm will detach and it will go towards the nucleus of the ovum, right? So दोस्तों, we all know head of sperm has only nucleus, right? Has only nucleus. और भी चीजें होंगी but mainly nucleus ही होता है. तो आप देख सकते हैं sperm से सिर्फ head जा रहा है ovum के अंदर. Now what happens? So the nucleus which is present in the head of the sperm, will fuse with the nucleus of ovum, right? So अब क्या होगा दोस्तों? So ovum का जो nucleus है, this nucleus of ovum will fuse with the nucleus which is present in the head of the sperm. So दो nucleus fuse हो जाएंगे. इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? So this nucleus of the sperm, it has 23 chromosomes, right? It has 23 chromosomes. Nucleus of ovum, it also has 23 chromosomes. Now when they fuse to become one nucleus, this one big nucleus will have 46 chromosomes. राइट? तो आप देख सकते हैं स्टार्टिंग में मैंने आपको डिफिनेशन में क्या बोला था? फर्टिलाइजेशन का एक्चुअल मतलब है फ्यूजन ऑफ मेल प्रोन्यूक्लियस एंड फीमेल प्रोन्यूक्लियस, राइट? तो जब हम कहते हैं फर्टिलाइजेशन ऑफ ओवम एंड स्पर्म, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि दोनों सेल ही फ्यूज होकर एक सेल बन जाएंगे, नहीं. स्पर्म से सिर्फ हेड ऑफ द स्पर्म विल गो विच विल कैरी द न्यूक्लियस ऑफ द स्पर्म. सो सिर्फ न्यूक्लियस जाएगा. So the nucleus from the sperm will fuse with the nucleus of the ovum, and this will lead to formation of a big nucleus which has 46 chromosomes, or it is diploid 2n, right? So this is called as what? Zygote. So आपको समझ में आ गया होगा दोस्तों. तो हमने क्या पढ़ा? हमने पढ़ा कि after the sperm enters into the cytoplasm of the ovum will complete meiosis 2, then it will form ooted and second polar body. अब क्या होगा? ooted के अंदर क्या होगा? The head of the sperm will detach and it will go towards the ovum. We all know head of the nucleus has only nucleus, right? Now what happens? The nucleus from the head of the sperm will fuse with the nucleus of the ovum. So दो न्यूक्लियस फ्यूज हो जाएंगे और एक बड़ा सा न्यूक्लियस बनेगा which is diploid and it has 46 chromosomes, right? So अगर आपको फर्टिलाइजेशन समझ में आ गया तो it is very easy, right? So now we will read the slides so that you people can understand very very easily, right? अब हम स्लाइड्स को पढ़ेंगे और आप समझेंगे. So you can see after insemination, so insemination होने के बाद इसका मतलब क्या है? Release of semen by the penis into the vagina. So after insemination, what will happen? The motile sperm swim to the ampullary region of the fallopian tube. So the sperms which are motile, with their help of their motility, they will swim, they will go from cervix to uterus, from uterus they will go into fallopian tube, और fallopian tube के ampullary region में आ जाएंगे, right? Simultaneously क्या होगा दोस्तों? The ovum released by the ovary also is transported to the ampullary region. So the ovum released by the ovary will also come to the ampullary region, right? Now what happens? You can see the sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum and induces changes to prevent additional entry of the sperm. ये मैंने आपको बोला था कि जब sperm will come in contact with zona pellucida. When it is penetrating the zona pellucida, it will have the chemicals of the sperm will react with the zona pellucida. जिसकी वजह से zona pellucida will become very 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 hard, very very strong, जिसकी वजह से दूसरे sperms cannot penetrate. Right, the sperm enters the cytoplasm of the ovum by digesting the zona pellucida and plasma membrane. Right, so अब क्या होगा, the sperm will penetrate through the zona pellucida, will penetrate to the plasma membrane, then it will enter into the cytoplasm. अब क्या होगा, this induces the completion of second meiotic division. Because it penetrates, इसकी वजह से क्या होगा, because the sperm enters into the ovum, इसकी वजह से क्या होगा दोस्तों, meiosis 2 of ovum will complete. जिसकी वजह से क्या होगा दोस्तों, इसकी वजह से क्या होगा, इसकी वजह से क्या होगा, डिवीजन ऑफ सेकेंडरी oocyte forming second polar body and a haploid ovum called as oocyte. Right, because of which there will be formation of second polar body and oocyte. अब क्या होगा, the haploid nucleus of sperm and the haploid nucleus of ovum will fuse together to form a diploid zygote. तो आप देख सकते हैं कि सिर्फ sperm से न्यूक्लियस आ रहा है. तो zygote is a unicellular structure, right? At very beginning, zygote is a unicellular structure, right? So अब ये unicellular structure है, यानी कि एक सिंगल सेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर है. इसके अंदर एक प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन होगा, वी ऑल नो दिस, न्यूक्लियस होगा, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया होगा, गोल्जी अपैरेटस होगा, ये सारा होगा. ये सारी चीजें आ कहां से रही है, क्या ये मदर के ओवम से आ रही है या स्पर्म से आ रही है? वी ऑल नो स्पर्म से सिर्फ न्यूक्लियस आकर फ्यूज होता है. Only the nucleus from the sperm will come and fuse with the nucleus of the ovum. बाकी सब mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, they are already present in the ovum. So they all come from the mother. They all come from the mother. खासकर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया दोस्तों, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया बाप से आता ही नहीं, सिर्फ मां से आता है. जाइगोट के अंदर जो भी माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, इट कम्स फ्रॉम द ओवम, दैट इज फ्रॉम द मदर साइड. अंडरस्टूड? ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. सो दिस ends fertilization. So now in fertilization we have to study about determination of sex. Determination of sex, we all know human female दोस्तों, जो humans के अंदर जो female है, they have both the sex chromosomes, that is X. So उनके दोनों sex chromosomes X होते हैं. Male के अंदर क्या होता है, one sex chromosome is X, one sex chromosome is Y. Right. So when the female will produce gametes, जब female gametes produce करेगी, ovum produce करेगी, वो सारे ovum के अंदर X chromosome ही होगा. But when the male will produce sperm, 50% of the sperms will have X chromosome, 50% of the sperms will have Y chromosome. Right? So 50% will have X chromosome, 50% will have Y chromosome. Imagine the sperm. अब ये जो sperm है दोस्तों, which has X chromosome fused with the ovum. Imagine the sperm having X chromosome will fuse with the ovum. What will happen? There will be formation of the zygote which will have two X chromosomes. This zygote will develop into a female. Right? Then imagine if the ovum fuses with the sperm which has Y chromosome. So agar ovum fuses with the sperm which has Y chromosome, the zygote will have one X chromosome, one Y chromosome. X will come from the ovum, Y will come from the sperm. This will develop into male. This will develop into male. Right? So this is sex determination. So क्या बच्चा जो zygote है वो मेल बनेगा या फीमेल बनेगा, कैसे डिटरमाइन होता है? How it is determined? It is determined by the chromosomes. अगर दोनों chromosomes X है वो female develop होगा, अगर दोनों एक chromosome X है एक chromosome Y है, it will develop into a male. Right? This is called as sex determination. What is determining the gender of the zygote? What is determining the gender of the zygote? It is determined by the chromosomes, sex chromosomes. अगर दोनों sex chromosomes XX है, female बनेगी, XY है, male बनेंगे. अब XX कौन से कंडीशन में बनता है? When the sperm carrying X chromosome will fuse with the ovum, it will lead to formation of a female baby. अगर sperm having Y chromosome will fuse with the ovum, it will lead to formation of a male baby. Understood?